last few months in our CNA class, it has tested our physical abilities and our knowledge. And I know all of my classmates would have some great things to say about our instructors. They have taught us not only the skills of how to be a good CNA, but also instilled the love for our future residents and patients. I know personally, I only viewed this class as a prerequisite for the nursing program, but now I can see the importance in this job and I love it, and I hope you all feel the same. I think we also learned some amazing life lessons in this class. We learned to work together, we learned to communicate better, we learned to read people, and we learned to time manage. And we built relationships in the class that will last out of the class. Over the next few minutes, I'd like to talk about what we've learned and experienced. I'd also like to mention the people we have to thank. At the beginning of the class, I remember walking in, seeing all the new faces, and being a little apprehensive. Then our teacher began the class. She was wearing a suit and looked a little intimidating. She began to go over the rules and syllabus, and I remember thinking to myself, oh no, what have I got myself into? And yes, Miss Grumbo was a strict teacher, but she was also a lovable, silly, and incredible teacher, and I couldn't have asked for a better one. Throughout the semester, we got more comfortable with the hang of things. Then skills labs hit. And for my class, that meant being in class at 6:30 in the morning. I can remember dragging myself to skills labs, as many of you probably can, with no breakfast, hardly even awake, and for the girls, no makeup. This is where we really got to know each other. We learned and practiced our skills on each other with awkwardness at first. But as time passed, we became more comfortable and started planning time to eat breakfast. Next came clinicals. This seemed like a whole new world. Suddenly, we were thrown out of the comfortable classroom, and our skills flew out of our minds without our control. We were deer in the headlights for the first couple clinicals, but we quickly learned the difference between the classroom and the real world, and how to work there. This is where we became a team. We learned to time manage and work together and complete real-world tasks with our fellow students and teaching CNAs. This is where I got the privilege to be Miss Eldridge's student. Again, on the first day of clinicals, we had a quiz, and I thought to myself, oh no, what have I got myself into again? With all of our teachers, if they hadn't presented themselves to us like this, we may not have put in all the hard work that we did. We may not have come out the students we are today. We all have a lot of people to thank for our achievement. We need to thank our teachers, Miss Grumbo, Miss Eldridge, Miss Hurd, and Miss McVicker. Without all their hard work, long hours, and encouragement, like I said, we wouldn't be here today. We also need to thank our fellow students. I know without you guys, I wouldn't be here today. I want to say a special thanks to one of my fellow students, Destiny. She was my clinical partner, and I learned a lot from her. We had a lot of fun, and sometimes clinicals aren't so pleasant, but she made everyone a great one. I remember one time during our third clinical, we were trying to get a resident with dementia away from the door so a fellow staff member could pass. We'd been trying to get her away for a while, and we could tell that she was getting agitated. So Destiny said, what if I leave you here with Alayna and I go away? The resident turned and looked at me and said, I'll probably kill her. Destiny said, well, I guess I'm not leaving you along with her. Thank you, Destiny. We also need to thank our family and friends. I know if you guys were like me at all, every day after clinicals, you would go home and tell your family and friends the stories and talk about the long day. I want to say thanks to my parents, sister, and boyfriend. Without you, the stress would have been much worse. And thank you for listening to all of my stories over and over again. Sorry if I ever grossed you out. Now, I don't know if any of the CNA staff that we shadowed during our clinicals are here, but we need to thank them. Without them, we would have been lost in the halls without direction. We wouldn't have learned what being a CNA really is. Their patience was incredible to handle all our questions, concerns, and forgetfulness. So thank you to the CNA staff of Rim Country and Basin Healthcare. Now, to end my speech, I know that you guys have probably thought of the state testing next week, probably even as you're sitting here. But I just reminded you of all the accomplishments we've had over the last couple months. We've passed test after test and done skill after skill. We can do this. Here's a quote from Simone de Beauvoir that really points out the privilege we have as CNAs. One's life has value so long as one attributes value to the lives of others by means of love, friendship, indignation, and compassion. Thank you and congratulations.